Hey guys, what is going on? Rush here, and welcome back to episode of Cards and Castles Known Combos, where today we are looking at a deck that was kind of exposed to me via the deck showcase over on a Discord. One of our fine community members, Chatty Shack, showed the deck list for his. I don't know if he named the deck, actually, now that I'm kind of thinking about it. Essentially, though, it was a deck that he actually used against us in our Windy Hooks rank video. As much as I kind of hate to point it out, he did actually beat us for the only loss we had for the initial Windy Hooks placement. The reason why the deck went 9-1. But regardless, the list did interest me upon taking a closer inspection, and I did, while I did make a few variant changes to it, not necessarily copied the entire list, and it's not the list I'm going to show you, I do think it's a deck that, I want to try and see for myself how it works. I mean, it's a concept that's been done before here in this game in years past. It hasn't been as successful as in previous years, but I do want to, again, just try it and see where it goes in this one. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and show you guys the no interaction deck list. Alright, and so here is our list for the no interaction deck, and essentially the name implies it all. You don't really interact with your opponents here in game. The deck heavily focuses on achieving face damage or just a complete destruction of any sort of tools from your opponent that come out at some point in the game. And essentially this deck tries to shut everything down and end it before, the big scary guys come out, when you get too far into late game. Obviously, that's not going to happen all the time, but you should still be able to close out games regardless with the, heavy amount of burn, whether it's from spells directly, unit abilities, you got draw to support all those new cards coming in, so you're never running out of tools. So, yeah, with that being said, since there's not much more of a concept to explain than that, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys into the cards here to show you guys what we are running. I think I will point out the changes that I made to the deck after we've gone through all the cards, because again, this is not the original list that Chatty showcased. I took out some cards basically for my preferences, and just because I want to try them and see where they would work out in the deck. So essentially, there are some missing things here from the original list, but I'll give you guys those things in case you want to run the deck as it was, I think, made back when we first faced it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the card by card here. Obviously, you got the Lumberjack, a great source of draw. No deck is without Lumberjack. You've got Salahar Rider, another sort of, or at least an early unit that can do some big damage. I think Salahar Rider probably one of the biggest 1 gold damagers in the game currently. The 2 attack, and then of course the last will of 2. Well, maybe not biggest, but I think I'm overhyping him. Anyway, Incinerate, the first burn. Mischievous Imp, you've got the Awakened deal 2 damage, more burn. Priest, giving yourself some health in case you need it onto the castle. One of 2 healing sources in the deck, really, for your castle. Blue Firebolt, another burn spell. Flamestorm, not only a big AoE spell, which is very, very big, but of course it can also trigger the Tarius files, which you are running in here. So of course you want to kind of use the 2 in tandem if possible, or if you really need to clear the board from early Swarm, that could be your go-to as well. Books for more draw power. Tarish, we just mentioned, again, more draw power. Armory, just to provide a little sort of buff to the units in case, it is sort of like a early mid-game card. I figured I might as well throw it in here to see how it works. This was one of the cards that I kind of swapped in for myself. I can see this not really working out too well in deck, but I'm kind of running at least 2 test copies now. We've got Darkbender, just a powerful-ass mage, especially in the Warlocks. Drain Life, another burn, but also one that can give you a little stat boost. Big reason that I, went with this deck, the inclusion of Drain Life. I don't see it too much. It's one of my more favorite cards, as a lot of you know. So I did want to try this one for, the full Drain Life experience. Headless, more burn. Headwood, again, more burn. General, the Last Will combo with Tarius files, not to mention the Rider and Lumberjack as well. Can take a little bit of advantage there, but It does provide sort of a, beefier body if you start to creep into the late game a little bit, but you usually want to throw him out in tandem with some kind of Last Will unit, so that way you can benefit the Last Will cards. Dragon's Fire, again, big AoE, much like Flamestorm. Flamestorm, right? I want to say like Flame Strike for some reason. It slides off the tongue easier. Craxus, more draw power, and Arbiter at 3. Not only another source of healing, but of course, the additional 4 damage from Arbiter could be a game ender, depending on where you guys are at in your games. So I did mention that Armory was my inclusion, or at least one of my little tweaks on the deck. I also decided to kind of throw in Craxus. I recognize maybe not everyone has him, but I thought he would be a good addition considering how much of a pain in the ass he has to deal with in any Crusader deck. So, I think it's good to kind of include him in here. Again, also with the draw power, one of the best draws in the game, so it makes sense. But if you guys do want to run the original list, I'll tell you right now, you essentially drop the Armory and Craxus from my list, and you put in 3 Witch Bolts, plus an additional Dragon's Fire, and that was the original list that Chatty had. I just thought maybe 3 Dragon's Fire was a bit too much, although it does work with AoE stuff, more burn. But then the Witch Bolt I personally didn't prefer because I don't like to give my opponent resources in any kind of capacity. I tend to stay away from those cards, even if it's something big, like dealing 4 damage for 1 gold. Even a big ability like that, I just couldn't give the resources. That's just my personal gripe with it. But I'm gonna tell you guys now, in case you do want to play it in its originality. You drop Armor, you drop Craxus, you put in 1 more Dragon's Fire, you add in 3 Witch Bolt, and there you have the original list. But with that being said, I'm going to use my list now here, jump into a game, and see how well the deck performs. Let's go ahead and jump into our match. Alright, so here we go with our matchup now, and I think what I'm going to do is, for now, sub out the Armory and see if I can maybe pull a unit or something. We don't pull the unit, we pull a Tarius, but we can still make do even with this hand. Anyway, he's going to start things off with the Lumberjack. Completely fine. I think what we can afford to do is just let that come through. It's only a Lumberjack. It's not going to be too problematic, especially because we have, of course, the Tarius Files and the Flamestorm in hand. He's actually going to go to a Sacrifice, which is a bit... Huh. Alright, so, quite an aggressive move. I'm going to go for Tarius Files then, see if maybe I can block out the Lumberjack. I didn't expect Sacrifice, but I mean, I guess Kargrim decks exist down here. I don't know why you'd necessarily be running that, but I mean, it is what it is. You're going to throw out a Banshee now, which is actually going to be great for us, considering that we can pretty much Flamestorm this, which we are going to take. Again, we're not really worried about our own castle health, because we do have the, what's it called? Arbiter hiding in the deck at some point, and we can pretty easily draw it out with how much draw power is in the deck. We have a Flying Books, another copy of Lumberjack. I say another copy, even though we haven't thrown out a unit yet in this matchup. That's okay. We'll probably... Huh. Alright, well, let's see if I can... No. Alright, we're going to hold back for now. See which is a pain in the butt. As long as he... Well, if he Dwarven Scopes it, it'll be a little bit annoying, because he can, of course, get some skeletons to clear this board. But we might be able to take out the Sea Witch here. We are going to regardless. I mean, we do have the Incinerate in hand. He'll go with the Bulwark, which is fine. It doesn't really do much for him in this case. Well, I say it doesn't do much. Just gave a bunch of units an additional 1 health, but... Alright. Let's see if we can clean up this board a little bit. We can. We certainly can. So let's go ahead. We're going to trade down here. Lumberjack comes in. We're going to mitigate the amount of targets necessary for this to work. We're going to throw down the Salahar Rider. Can we connect onto the Sea Witch, please? We cannot. Gonna go for the Incinerate play, just so that way he doesn't have a chance to kind of hibernate, or hibernate the Sea Witch and make it a much stronger target for us to deal with. In the meantime, we'll just he's gonna He's gonna hibernate that, isn't he? Yep. Right. So that's a pain in the butt. Let's go ahead then and get just 2 flying books out on the board, just for draw. We have the Arbiter Blue Fire, which will be enough to take it out, but I want to try and avoid doing that kind of play. We're going to get the books pushed back. Necromancer comes out. Okay, so probably more of an undead-focused deck now that we're seeing more of it. Let's go ahead and get... Ooh. Do I want to risk... I think we'll play the more expensive general a bit more aggressively here. We're going to hope for our opponent to not have the Dragon's Fire to get some value off this play. If he does have the Dragon's Fire, takes out both the books with the fire. General comes in, does a whole bunch of stuff there. Or does a sack Darkfire play, which is a little more annoying. Actually, a hell of a lot more annoying. Can we go for the miracle play here? No, we can't. Okay, of course not. Of course not. So far, things haven't worked for us, so why would they start now? Let's go for that. Let's go for that. Again, we still have the Arbiter, so things are relatively fine on that front, but... I prefer it to not be, you know... to not face down a goddamn giant-ass Acolyte. Huh. Oh. And that makes it even worse. I have to do the blue fire there because we can't afford... maybe we could have with the flame storm. That was probably a mistake. Alright, let's reposition the general. Let's move Lumberjack down here, I guess, because why not? He doesn't have Chain in Warlock Pirate, and he is running out of tools. So I'm a little comfortable moving forward. He grotesques the Skeletal Pirate for more draw. Okay, that's fine. I want him to not do that. Because now there goes everything. Again. Oy vey. I mean, we'll get double draw off the Lumberjack, so I guess that's fine, but still. Eh. See what I could pull off of the draw. Not bad. We do a rider here. I think I go double Darkbender here. There we go. Get him a little more aggressive so that way our armor gets more value. Necromancer is about an incinerate away from dying. Again, the third Necromancer is not going to help him unless he decides to get... Oh, well, Ship of the Damned. Cool. But doesn't really go many places. Works for me. I can just do this then. Actually, let's get you out. Okay, you're being a pain in the ass. The abilities do not work with me today for some reason. And then we'll do that. Followed by that. What annoys me is that he kept them back. So there's a big fear of Rakanoth, but then again, he'd also be defending just because he assumes I have the Arbiter. That wasn't smart. That's just weird. No, I'm just kidding. The onslaught wasn't weird, but the zombie could have made the trade with the Darkbender, so I don't know why he didn't take that. We'll probably just Arbiter our way to a win here. House of Daggers, not gonna work. He needs to get his guys out to defend. And even then, we could probably just... Yeah, I think we might be able to... Let's see here. I'm just thinking about how I can do this specifically. Oh, we have our second Arbiter, so it's not gonna matter. Again, we're gonna value face damage here. We'll hit that Necromancer because it's a little stronger. Because why not? Take out both the pirates. Follow up with the Craxus. Be real aggressive with it. And that should end the game. There's no way he's going to get a 2-card combo out of that sudden death draw to kill me all the way. And we've essentially taken this match. Little sketchy, just because, you know, I admit I'm not totally used to the idea so far, but, you know, and mostly because the Acolyte scared me a majority of that match. I didn't really focus on the goal of going all face when I just sat there with a giant ass Acolyte, even though I guess the idea is to kind of just destroy your opponent's tools, you know, no interaction. Kind of makes sense on that front, so... But, I mean, it is what it is. So we are going to take the win here. Yeah, the blue Firebolt and Headwood are nice. I think I'm going to end it off, though, bringing in the Arbiter, restoring that health, smacking down a little bit, dealing damage there. Not going to let... Oh, and he's going to surrender before I can do the final blow. So that will be the win for us. Overall, a decent demonstration. Honestly, like I said, it's... Maybe would have been better if I didn't have to deal with a hibernated Acolyte sitting on the board as a 4/7 for the majority of the match. And again, with the idea is that you want to go as much castle damage, go for as many face punches as possible. Kind of hard to do that when things didn't line up the exact way I wanted to. Even though I think, I mean, a lot of our abilities did end up hitting face. Yeah, the Horsemans, the Riders. Even though we wanted them to hit other targets, you know, they still did the work. They still did the job very well. So overall, I can't really complain on that aspect. If I didn't have the damage, maybe I wouldn't have been able to. But I think towards the end of the match, regardless, we were still able to bring out the win. So with that, that will bring us to a good stopping point, at least for this video. I'm going to try, I think out of the other decks I've got lined up, this might be the one that I'm going to pull a ranked with red with, just to see where it goes. An idea that kind of just goes all face. Kind of interests me a little bit, so we might take this up for ranked with red, but in the meantime, that'll be for another day. So let's go ahead and close out this video right now. With that being said, folks, I hope you did enjoy this edition of Known Combos. Let me know what you guys think of the No Interaction deck by leaving your thoughts down in the comment section below. And thanks again to Yoda and Chatty for kind of exposing me to the list. Maybe not in their intentions, but regardless, you know, thanks to them for giving me the inspiration to try this deck for myself. And with that, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to comment down below what you guys think of the deck. But while you're down there, if you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Share with friends, of course, subscribe if you are new or haven't done so already. It's the best way that you can support the channel, after all, just by clicking that subscribe button at no extra cost to you. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for now. So, until next time, guys, stay gaming.